There's some tear, an empty cigarette. You see, a slogan you...
Looks like tomorrow never came.
The trap is poor things. A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing a cold... The scruffy-haired little boy. This one doesn't say any...
Lily's our mum.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too... The other one laughs as well. Wow, so intellectually stimulating. The stone kicking isn't even of very high caliber. Anyone can do that.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look like he knows what that means.
You're stupid. Okay. You're stupid. Okay.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope me. Now is your turn, Mr. Why the hell?
She's got a couple. Is that the phasmid? It looks like... Wait. What if this is the fishing rod situation all over again? Fine. It's not a phasmid. It's not even organic. Just a fire iron.
Hello, mister. It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you make up for the skewer you broke.
I don't know. Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry. Bye!
Can I help you? What is this thing? Okay, well, this is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know. Thank you.
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, you believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, "You seen Apricot, old Purdue's daughter?" asks Lieutenant McCoy. "Uh-huh," replies Torson. "The ass on that one." McCoy shakes his head in appreciation. A bit strange the old man named her Apricot, but, I mean...
Huh? You got a problem with beer?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
You saying we don't help people? I've been doing this job for 10 years. Martinez was a dump before we put...
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from...
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick. Just don't antagonize him. You have this already.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna... If you don't, if you question her, harass her...
What is her name?
Klaasje, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's I'm on due, with an O-U.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop. You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Whatever you do not tell him you know her. That would sound off.
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her.
Something is off here.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again.
Okay, enough. All of this is a...
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it...
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know.
Here you go, boss.
I know her.
How well do you?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about...
Well enough, Copper. We party. She's been here for a few months. You mean Revachol? Nah, she's an immigrant.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just... Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. And what was up with the partying she and Titus did? It sounded fun.
What do you think I meant? Yeah, pretty much. No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's...
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of, I don't give a shit.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Officer, what was that? Yes. Yes. The victim? Is there something I should know before we talk to her? Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday. Okay, that's manageable. What you're saying is, you?
Ice is forming on the inside of your...
Then, don't ever see... What else? This is unprofessional. Not sharing information with me is...
His opinion of you has... The door is closed. There's still a dent in the vinyl where you punched it before. This little depression is all you could You're just as alone as the last time. Whatever kept you company in this world, white morning, it was morning all along. The words still echo in the hallway. The door feels cold.
Who is it?
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up. This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly. It's been used quite a lot, but not for scrubbing blood off towels. Or it's clean of chemical odors too. Just some dried toothpaste on the handle. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped
an opioid receptor antagonist. It's used for diamorphine overdoses.
Pill bottles rattle like... The lieutenant glances at the rows of pills, then at the door. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. Silently, the bottle slides into... Feels so sleek and beautiful. You got it. Here comes the afterburner. Time to become a super detective. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand. Just a glance. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging. Six crumbling petals.
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle. The revolutionaries, so the communers and the anarchists. White's their color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the king's men too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War. Yes, but not this early, not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
The petals feel dry and fragile in your hand. Water flows under the channel bridge. Dark water. You rub your sides for warmth, but there is none. Inland, above the Martinez distributary, the wrinkled fingers of an old man crush flower petals, then sprinkle them in the street. Rene, that old man in the uniform. Maybe you should show it to him.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, then toned over several years of self-defense training. You can sense it in the sharp point.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. It's much nicer now.
Where the dead body used to have.
Thank you for that, officers.
There is something in her light brown eyes. A sadness.
Oh, yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I am Kim Kitsuragi. I am a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my
Have I ever? Have you grown accustomed to your role as a police officer?
Oh yeah. Feel the power.
I can see that. It suits you.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there.
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go, no need to dilly-dally. She's tough. You sound like a Coach Physical Instrument is overdoing it, even by my standards. Say something else first.
Klaasje Amondu. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. A bad memory, officer. Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass. Duraluminium. Vredefort is a conference city.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there. I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranje's lit. Oranje's literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranjese. All national literatures are only the name of the nation.
What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters.
No. Revacholian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world. That's just a phase the Revacholian hero goes through.
She seems quite relaxed for a victim of assault. But, of course, what seems...
Nothing. I do nothing with it. Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranje's lit. Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Oranje 37.
It's the world's most tired smile. Miss Oranje, now there is something you should linger on.
It's a beauty pageant, held in the year of our century 37.
She was 14 at the time.
It's a competition for stupid girls. Men look at them and choose. When you have the fewest deviations from the norm, I've been told it's a type of mediocrity that I possess. No. I was the most stupid and mediocre, and I got a crown and a sash and a scepter for it, and a scholarship to study Oranje's lit. Indeed.
Her voice is indifferent to the number.
It was okay. And it was called Miss Teen, Oranje 37, actually. You'll be glad to hear the pageant was discontinued. I'm afraid you can't.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast.
Thank you for your candor.
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
It's also why I hid it.
Why else?
I'm an unpopular girl. They're the kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry, this has nothing to do with your investigation. I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect. Phew.
Playfully, she doesn't seem to be overly distressed.
If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Klaasje. It's a weird name.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okie dokie. The record. So official. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months.
The bills downstairs concur.
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her.
What did you say? Oh my god. Now it's turning into narcomania. It's got... I'm sorry. Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. Like, not being able to stay up for 36 hours. Not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, but... Huh? Motherfucker took my Preptide? Looks like you owe me one, officer. I'm talking serious corruption here.
This does not amount to actual corruption. I can...
Robbed by common...
She's not angry, but it's true. She's gonna have to find some more.
It is.
The lieutenant makes... He finds the answer unsatisfying.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean? By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped.
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
Is it? It is evening. Time flies, man. Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say...
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were a...
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Pretty much.
Warming them.
I'm 89% sure. You know how it is.
Do you?
Maybe you don't.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here. Serious.
You hear cracking in her
Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be this flippant if I had been? We partied. a lot of
From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is.
What did you do when you...
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more. I guess you can say that, yes. A bit. Lovers is such an...
How did you two meet?
Downstairs. At the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. Had a...
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh, yes. I've had a great view.
A bitter cringe. It hurts.
You called us.
Yes.
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept... I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio...
So that's why the phone is out of order. She tampered with the whirling landline.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I...
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid...
Thank you for making the call, miss.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here.
And his role in this strike?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Bullet? They shot him too?
I'm not picking up on any theatercraft here, sir.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present.
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she?
Cowering. I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie. They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said...
She breathes a silvery sigh.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth. She looks at the dried petals in your palm. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Some martial art, sir.
Samurai boxing, or sambo, graceful moss.
Why was there a flower on the roof? Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen, Salam Rocky Bayi, badass on-the-edge disco cop. Time to receive. Yeah, you know. Beneath it is just heartbreak, a pulmonary tract infection, atherosclerotic. This is the beginning of your legend. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it, in an iconic monochrome solution. You made the right call there. I'm talking about your zero-tolerance policy toward the mania of narco. You're in the right there. Powerful stance. Would you like to take it up a notch? Would you like to become an anti? That's not a problem at all. The more drugs you do, the more zealous you can be in combating them. Drugs give you the vigor to fight drugs. No. By supporting the traditional tobacco industry, you keep the narco mills in check.
That's good to hear. Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? She seemed forthcoming. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect...
Hey.
Well, well. Bringing in that...
You're back. Yeah, it's hers. She just sort of moved it all in a few months.
She said if she's going to make truly radical art.
And I don't think she could afford rent at an actual studio. Oh, sure. It's definitely interesting, I would... I guess you could call her latest stuff a sort of counter-bourgeoisie calligraphy. She's got a...
It's too bad she hasn't developed the theoretical foundation to do truly radical.
I think she'll get there, though. She's still looking for a subject equal to her ambitions. The deal, at a fundamental level, I guess you could call it a
That's really good, Steban. You should save that for an essay.
Thanks, Uli. When the idea is sound, the words just sort of...
Yes, now keep developing the idea.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not as good as Steban's original idea, though.
Go ahead. Yes, let's get right to...
His companion leans forward, ready to... They're impressed that you dove right into the most advanced parts of the theory. Half an hour evaporates and the conversation, a cool breeze coming off the bay, wraps itself around the Capeside apartments, in a nearly forgotten part of that glorified construction site, surrounded by rusted pieces of scaffolding and walls of faded tarpaulin. A detective of the RCM debates the intricacies of an abstruse theory with a pair of university students.
The two phenomena are actually deeply intertwined. Many inframaterialists believe that Bale is actually... Those same theorists have hypothesized that revolution may in fact create a counterforce that prevents the Bale from expanding.
Now the breeze has subsided. All is still except for the last bits of steam.
Well, on that note, I think we can call it an evening.
No, wait. Can this really be the end? You feel like...
Yes. One of our better discussions lately, on the whole.
What do you mean, is that it? You've done the reading, we talked about it. What more do you expect from a reading group? Well, you could always ask, I guess.
We probably won't get a better chance.
But it's getting late, so maybe pick the most important question.
Detective, how should I know what questions you have about communism?
Come on. We have things to do in the morning.
The question you mean to ask is both very complicated and incredibly simple. The young man waits patiently for you to finish.
Yes?
Say it. The young man considers your words. There's something going on in there. But his inner...
The theorist Puncher and Watman, not inframaterialists, but theorists nonetheless, say that communism is a secular version of Pericanassian theology, that it replaces faith in the divine with faith in humanity's future. I have to say, I've never entirely understood what they mean, but I think maybe only in this very specific sense. Communism doesn't dangle any promises of eternal bliss or reward. The only promise it offers is that the future can be better than the past, if we're willing to work and fight and die for it. Then you don't believe in the historic role of the proletariat, which also means you reject the basis.
It means you are not a communist, in other words.
Something else. I guess you could say we believe it because it's impossible. It's our way of saying we refuse to accept that the world has to remain. Like this. Yes, that's a good way to think of it. Broken. A thought can be a very powerful thing.
Steban, it's getting pretty late.
You're right. We should clean this up and get going.
Of course, the matchboxes. You'd very nearly forgotten to ask about them. Now, maybe your last chance.
So you really did read all the way to the end. Yeah, Uli and I were trying to see whether there was enough plasm between the two of us to hold up a few...
It was just a little informal experiment. No reason to take it too seriously.
The young man looks at you a moment, then...
What could it hurt? All right, let's give it another go.
You know what? I'll sit this one out. I don't think you want my
Before long, a modest tower begins to rise from the pile of matchboxes. You place every box with the utmost delicacy and precision.
Easy, Uli.
It's holding.
The higher the tower goes, the quieter the room seems to become. Aside from the occasional comment, the three of you are completely absorbed by the task.
All right, you go next, Steban.
The young man pushes back his shirt sleeves, revealing the pale flesh of his forearms.
Is it?
Yes. This is the closest we've ever...
It's almost exactly as Nielsen's sketch imagined. A physical manifestation of the dialectical spiral of history.
All right, gendarme. Your turn.
You've got this. Theories aside, they're only matchboxes. Even the lieutenant is watching intently now.
It's... For a second there, I thought we had it. Just goes to show how constrained we are under the limits of the prevailing regime.
Undoubtedly.
Alternatively, it could be that our own ideological fervor is still in...
Yes, the problem is almost certainly your lack of commitment, and not, say, gravity.
Harder to believe, but still possible.
Either way, that's enough parlor games for one night.
We should probably clean up.
Well, I think we're probably finished here, Detective.
Wait a minute. If you don't mind, we wanted to get your opinion on something. A few little changes we've been thinking about. Nothing too major, I think. We were talking potentially about relaxing some parts of our admissions process.
exactly what I've been saying.
I'm not saying we abandon our beliefs. I just think it would be better if our group had more than 2 regular attendees. Plus, all these empty chairs are a little sad, aren't they? There was another thing. We were also...
Though some of us maintain that advertising is an...
That's what makes it so beautiful. As a noted art cop, you definitely have an opinion on this.
That's exactly what I was...
I guess no one could accuse...
Plus, I've got the perf... Put some more coffee on, Uli. We've got a long night ahead of... Oh, about that question you asked earlier. It reminds...
Ah, so he has read something beside...
It was written by a young communard who was killed on the barricades during the Coalition landings. The story goes that he wrote it on the last night of his life, keeping watch from the barricades in the middle of the night. I don't have the whole... In dark times, should the stars also go out? Anyway, good night to you.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?